and welcome back to my channel, Family Tech, where you get all the tech tips, news, and information you didn't even know you needed. So today's topic, and I'm so excited because I get to just have a fun conversation with my friend. I'm lucky enough to call him my friend, the modern dad.
Hello.
So Jason, tell me a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your channel. I mean, you're going to start a YouTube channel, right? Like you're going to have to.
Seriously, I have to after this.
Yes, for sure. But you do have a significant following on Instagram and otherwise. So tell us a little bit about what it is you're all about.
Yeah, so I am Jason. My account's called The Modern Dad. I've been doing that account for about 9 years. I always know because whenever it's my son's birthday, that's basically when it started.
That's perfect. You're like, right. Oh, okay, you're 9, then we've done
9. I've been doing this for 9 years. Thanks for making my life easy. But I basically talk about where I like to shop, where I like to eat, where I like to shop, and where I like to eat.
Do you like to shop, Jason?
I like to shop and eat.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And eat. Well, and you just got back from New York. Super, super jealous. You took your wife on a fun little getaway.
Oh my gosh, crazy.
Was it so fun? Did you do lots of shopping?
It was just like last minute. The week before I booked tickets because she kept saying she wanted to go see Music Man. And so I got tickets. And then since we were there, we might as well eat and go shopping.
Eat and go shopping. And you saw Music Man with Hugh Jackman, right?
Yeah.
Was it fantastic?
Oh my gosh. It was amazing. I'm
super jealous.
I was in heaven.
I would be as well.
Yeah.
So let's dig into today's topic because there is so much I want to go over. Sure. And like just tons. So my kids went back to school. Did your kids go back to school already?
We go on Monday.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a bummer.
But kind of nice. Like I'd rather be on Monday because some I've heard like started yesterday and then some are today. Like just give me a Monday and we're good.
Right. So my kids went back to school on Wednesday, which is also like our short day. So I'm like, what's the point? Like, just make it on Thursday. But I did hear the worst possible scenario. Somebody's school district, their kindergartners go back to school. Like, so their first day of school is their short day.
Yeah.
So for kindergarten, that's like an hour.
Yeah.
And it's on a Friday. Like, who came up with this? Like,
I'm gonna make some
the whole purpose. Yeah, you should. You really should. Because the purpose of like the first day of school, especially for kindergartners, is to like get them used to the schedule and like how everything is. And then you're gonna like shorten that and then send them off on the weekend. Like
super shorten it.
Right.
Like on a Friday?
So dumb. Right, on a Friday. Yeah, all dumb. And I'm like, okay, they win for the dumbest school starting day ever.
So this is you. Listen up.
Right. We feel your pain. I'm so sorry. Your school district is dumb.
Yeah.
But with school starting, guess what's right around the corner?
Everyone's favorite holiday, Christmas.
My favorite holiday for sure. I'm obsessed with Hallmark movies. And I actually have the cutest purse that I should just grab and show you for Christmas because I think you'll love it.
I probably will. It's not even a think. I will.
This is my new Christmas purse.
Oh, yeah. Disney? For sure.
Right?
That's a good one.
Super stoked about this purse. So I will be using this come the holiday season. But hopefully you're starting your shopping soon because and then just between me and you, because me and you and the like thousands of other people that will watch this, my husband has heard that there will be a turkey shortage. So if you want a turkey for Halloween, or maybe Thanksgiving, buy it now and keep it in your freezer. That's just the
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. The 411.
VIPs listening now, go buy a turkey.
Go buy a turkey. And I feel okay to say this because I've already gotten mine. So I'm like, I'm not going to cause the turkey shortage.
So you're fine, but the rest
I'm good.
I'm going to Costco right after this.
It sounds great. Yeah. So, but yeah, so Christmas is just around the corner. Get your shopping done early. Everyone still has like delays and,
Oh my
shipping
gosh,
delays and
delays.
manufacturing delays. So, you're going to want to hop on this early. So, that's why we're here going to talk about all the things that you want.
All of them.
All of them. So, let's start with babies.
Okay.
Jason, I want to hear
Yes.
your picks on gadgets for babies.
Yeah. So I have 4 kids. I have 9, 7, 5, no, 9, 7, 5, 2. She turns 3 this year. So we're coming out of the baby stage, but doesn't mean we weren't in there recently.
Right.
My
Last time I was had a baby was 13 years ago. So
yeah,
I'm a little further removed from it.
Changed since then.
A little bit. Yeah, like okay, sorry to tangent really quick.
No,
Those
do it.
pouchy foods, those didn't exist when I had babies and toddlers.
Yeah.
So, be grateful for what you have, people.
Yeah. Yeah. And know that it keeps getting better. Like from
Right.
when my oldest to my youngest, we've gotten like better options.
For sure.
So one of the things that I love, and I was gonna grab it, but I forgot.
It's
Our
okay.
baby monitor.
Yes.
So
There's so many to choose from. So what's your pick?
there's so many. So there was one that was local, that there were some things, they will remain nameless. And I'm not even sure if this is still their name. But
We're okay throwing people under the bus here. It's fine.
I don't know what the name of it is, but the one that we have, it's called Cubo, Cubo. I've loved it. So I love it because it doesn't keep things forever. Like I don't need to see my kids' images and them sleeping forever. Yes. And it's weird because the U has the 2 dots over it. But if you search this, you'll find it.
Find it.
But I love it because it doesn't keep their images forever. I can always see what's going on. Now we kind of use it just as like it's a video camera in my kid's room. So if anything were to happen besides when they're sleeping, like I have footage of it for I think like 24 hours, 72 hours. There's a time period. But anytime my kids get sick and we have this monitor on it, I'm the weird parent that likes to go and see exactly when they threw up in their bed. But
how long has this dried throat been in her bed?
I'm like, well, she threw up and she's rolled all in it. Let's go watch when that happens, shall we? And I can scroll back and I see it. But it also gives you like notifications of your child could be covered. Like I just get the notifications to see those things. Most of the time she has a doll in her bed with her. And so it's seeing the doll. But there have been times that I've seen it and she has the blanket completely over her and I can go in and I can help her out. But we have loved it.
So that's cool. It will say like your child could be covered.
Yeah, your child could be covered. It
That's
tells you
amazing.
the temperature of the room. So if it's really cold or too hot, it tells me. What other notifications do I get? If like like something could be off, it tells you like when she was a baby and in the crib, it was like there's something else in the crib with them. Yeah, it's nuts. So I'm a huge fan of that.
Does the notification say so and so threw up in the bed?
No. No, I wish. It just tells me like it'll say, so if they're sleeping and they move, then you see the tracking that there's movement happening. So I just go to that and then I'm like, I can switch from the like go every 15 seconds to see what had happened and when. But I really do honestly love it.
That's amazing. Yeah. Like I said, I haven't had to have a baby monitor in, 13 years. They have changed since my children were babies.
Yeah.
But that sounds amazing. I love that.
And it's nice too because I can adjust where it's pointing. So we have it over the bed right now, But I could also go and I could adjust it and it points out at the whole room. It is in color and HD. I can zoom in on the child. At night, it's black and white, so that way you get night vision.
Sure.
But yeah,
Is there like when it's night, is there like a light that like could bother them, or do they just get used to
I
it?
mean, I
Or
think you can turn it off. There's a slight light on the end just so you know the connection. So if it's red, then you know it's not connected. But the light's not bright enough that it would interfere with sleep.
very cool.
And it's on the side, so it's not like the light is pointing down at the child.
Okay, yeah, that makes all the difference too, I'm sure. Like if it's right above their bed, they're like,
the green light, I'm just gonna stare at forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and because there was a lot of hubbub about some like video monitors, specifically, gosh, now I can't think of the name. The Wise cameras.
Yes.
There was a big hubbub about like people talking to their kids like through these cameras and things.
Yeah.
The best way to protect yourself from that kind of thing is to enable two-factor authentication on your account.
Yeah.
So if you have, like, most of the time that happens because their account has been compromised. So it's not necessarily that the device itself has been compromised, it's that the account that you log into has been compromised. So that's just one way to keep those kind of video cameras that are in kids' rooms safe.
Yeah. The thing too that I like about ours is that you cannot talk to the child through it.
And that's great too.
That was something that I was like, I don't need that. Like, it's not something that I want. Maybe people do. I didn't want that because of if something happened, like, what am I gonna, if I say something, what's that gonna do to him?
They're like, where's daddy?
Stop throwing up in your bed. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure there's definitely reasons for it to communicate to him. I didn't find those reasons necessary in what we were looking for.
Yeah, and I think I like that better because and then that eliminates this whole like, creepy dude talking to my kids thing as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else you got for babies? Do you have anything else for babies?
That's it for babies.
Okay.
That's like tech.
It's what?
That's like tech.
Yeah. I have a couple. The owlet sock, did you ever try that?
No. So that was coming out when we were having our oldest. It was just becoming a thing. Like, so it was brand new and they reached out to me seeing if I was interested. We were already so paranoid about our first that to add another thing to make us nervous,
Right.
I didn't want.
That totally makes sense because that's true. It could like, if you're paranoid and that's why you got the sock, that could, information can be too much information can be a problem for sure.
Yeah. I definitely know of the value of it. I definitely agree with it. It's definitely gotten better since the beginning. But yeah, we never had it, but I definitely know about it.
Yeah, so the owlet sock, just basically monitors oxygen levels and things like that. For me, I'd always be it didn't exist when I had babies, so there's that. But I would be paranoid. Like, what if it was like off slightly and it's saying like there's no oxygen for your kid, and then you freak out, all of that. So
yeah, and already with our first, like we had him sleeping by us. And just then I would freak out. Like, is he breathing? What's going on? Or he's making a weird noise when he breathes. Like, you already freak out enough. And so that's where when that came in, I was like, okay, this is a great option if I'm putting baby in the room, not next to me, but I still want to be a little paranoid because I want to see what's all happening. But like a good paranoid, I would think.
For sure. The other two things three actually I've got, and this is just because I go to CES, so I get to see all the fun, cool gadgets. And I know your wife was a stay at home, but did she use any type of breast pump or anything like that?
No. Did she? Well, I mean, she got one
You're
like
like, I don't even know.
hospital. Like, I mean, we had one, but it wasn't anything special. There's the ones that you can like put right in your bra and it
Right.
doesn't even look like anything's happening.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
And so I did see one of those at CES. So it was called Free Me, like just like
Mhm.
pre me, but free me, to like free you from like, strings of breast pumps. But like,
Yeah,
yeah, it just goes right in your bra. It looks, like you're just well endowed,
right.
which you kind of are when you're breastfeeding anyway. So, but I haven't been able to use that myself. But that's just throwing that one out there. The other one that I really loved at CES, and this isn't actually even shipping yet. It's not shipping until about October, but it's called Kettle, Keddle. I'm going to just create another banner here for that. And it's basically a bottle warmer, but like, well, breast milk warmer. What's different about this than other like warmers is that it will warm the liquid itself. Like it's not going to heat up the bottle, and then in the transitive property of heat, it's not going to heat up the bottle to heat up the milk. It heats up the milk directly, and then you can put it in the bottle, and so the bottle's not going to be like super hot and
Yeah.
everything. But what else I liked about Kettle is it can also be used for hot chocolate.
It can grow with your child.
It can grow with your child. And you can set the exact temperature that you want it to be.
Oh,
And you can like, so if you have your breast milk in like a baggie, like where you've pumped it and you need to heat it up, you can heat it in that baggie, like in the kettle, and then
wow.
like dump it out. Um, so I thought that like when I saw that at CES, I was like blown away. I'm like, this is a very cool device. I
Yeah,
love it. I have no need for it at the moment, except for, a hot chocolate. But and you can charge with just a standard USB.
nice.
So and then like you charge it and then you can just take it with you.
Yeah.
Cool things like that. And then the last one I have is Cubtail, and I'm so for those paranoidy parents, um, this is an awesome little device where you can like you have different cubs, and so each one is like one for food, one for diapers, one for medicine, things like that. And so like if I give my child some formula, I can like tap one, like +1 on the formula, and then you like can see what's happening. Oh, I have pictures that I was going to show. Um, where was I going to do that? I'm super prepared
Hey,
today because
so am I.
this is what happens when I'm just interviewing my friend. Um,
So you click, yeah. I'm looking at it online.
so what you do is you just like tap the plus when you give them a bottle, and
Yeah,
then it all goes into this app where you can see exactly what's going on with your kid. I can just hit the next one there. Yeah. So exactly like, how many wet diapers, how many, poopy diapers they've had,
I would have loved.
etc., etc.
Especially
So,
right when you have your child, they want you to track all those things. They'd be like, "We
right.
want to know how many wet, how many poopy, how many times are you feeding?" Like, this is way. I mean, heaven forbid we have to like do tally marks, but like
Right.
we're now at an age where this is so much more of a convenience
Yeah.
that I love it.
Yeah. So so you just have these like you keep one near your like changing table, you keep one near where like you breastfeed or whatever, and you can even say like which breast that you fed on last and
Yeah,
everything like that. So
because we all
uh,
know too, as parents, like I do not. I mean, I wasn't the one like breastfeeding. I don't know why.
are you sure?
Maybe I was. But like you forget those things, and then you also forget about the time. Like your first year, I'm like, that was a blur. I don't remember anything. But then
Yeah.
when you're going through it, you don't remember. Like right now, you clearly can remember left from right. But when
Right.
you're going through this, you are going to forget, like, what did I do last time? That was 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Where am I? Did I change their diaper? I don't know.
Right.
So, like, I see this being a great option.
Yeah, for
You just
sure.
have it there and just tap it, and it all stores. And
Right.
these geniuses.
I know, right? Like all of these things that I didn't have when I was a new mom and had little babies. But
Yeah.
all right, so let's move on to toddlers.
Yeah.
What have you got for toddlers?
Okay. So this could be toddler to go up a little older. I
Sure.
mean, older.
I have a
All
few of those too, where they're kind of like, it
Yeah.
could be either.
All my kids love this. All of them. So
Okay.
3 years old to 9. The Tony.
Tony.
So this is like a music, it's a device. What it is, you get these things, they're called Tonys, and you go, like, my 3-year-old can come and just put it on and it'll start playing. It also is very nice because the sound is based off of the size of the ears of what this, like, Tony cat looks like. So if you want it less sound, you do the smaller ear. If you want more sound, you do the bigger ear.
That's genius.
Right? It's also like, since it's magnetic, it's easy for little kids to just put it on. Like, we have like Moana and Mulan, we have Ariel, and then the boys wanted to get like Woody and dinosaurs. Like, they're not just stories. So like this will talk, it'll give like a story about Woody and an adventure and all that, and then it'll do songs from the show. Where this, it's not going to do like, it's just going to give information about dinosaurs. So like my oldest has loved this, and all of a sudden he's like asking me, Dad, did you know this about dinosaurs? I'm like, no, I did. Where's that? And he's like, it was this story last night. I'm like, what the? But like, it's also really cushioned. So like soft, doesn't
So if they
hurt.
throw it at their brother,
It doesn't hurt as bad, depends on who's throwing. It's also got a charging station. So we've taken this camping with us
cool.
because, like, there's one, this just does like bedtime songs. So, like, we took it camping and my daughter put it on, and then, like, she was able to focus on that and went to sleep easier instead of having to scream bloody murder in the whole campground. And like, we have one, this one is in our boys' room, this is in our girls' room. They're always stealing each other's little Tony things, but I love it.
Do the like so for that bedtime one, do the songs or whatever change, or is it the same ones every time?
Same ones every time,
Okay.
which I'm fine with.
Yeah,
Think,
yeah. I'm just curious. I don't know.
right. I think this one I can personalize. So like, I could go in to Tony, like either the app or the web, and I can record a message and put it on there, or I could like read a story. Or grandparents, let's say your grandparents are in another country for like 18 to whatever years, they get one of these, put a message on it, and then the kids can listen to that message, and they can
That's awesome.
change the message. Whatever message they put on it, it's on there.
Right.
So I thought that was cool.
That
I'm a
is
fan.
cool. Can you create playlists? Like if I have like a Spotify playlist or like, I mean, I don't know what it integrates
I
with
don't
or
know. I
anything like
think
that.
maybe depending on which ones you hook up to, like this one just has songs that Anna sings from Frozen and then talks about a story like it's the story of Frozen, but more focused on her. But the Elsa one is like more focused on her, but then like songs that she sings. So,
Got it. Okay.
but like they're
That's
all
cool.
on here. I don't know. There's like what do I know? It just, I don't know much. Is this charged? Oh yeah. Do you hear it? Yeah.
Ah.
You're gonna do a sing along.
Yeah. You don't want to hear me sing.
Right. You don't want to hear me either. But yeah, so it's nice and soft. I don't know. And then right when it comes off, it stops.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
And I'll go and I'll put this on there. Like, I'll put it on. They'll pick one. They'll put it on at night. And then if I check and they're asleep, I just go and take it off. Or it stops out automatically once it's gone through the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Is there a way that you can set it to repeat? Like if you want it to just repeat all night long?
I mean, probably. I've never done it. I'm like
It's
a
okay.
real novice with this. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but for some reason, we keep buying these things
Sure.
every time we go to a toy store.
Oh, so like they have just the toys that you can like just
Oh yeah,
buy.
you can just go and you just buy these, and they have all kinds. Like,
Do your kids just play with the toys too? Like, like not on the Tonys, but they'll
oh
like
yeah, like a
just like
dog and a mouse. They'll like play with these, like with all their other little creatures they have.
cute.
Yeah,
I love
so
it.
that's what I'm a fan of.
Okay. And got anything else for toddlers?
I mean, there's another thing that you have that I started getting for toddlers, and it is KiwiCo.
Oh, yeah. I brought that. My
I
kids are older, so
right.
I have the older one.
Yeah. So we have like they have them for all ages.
Yeah.
So like we did it for toddler, and then we got like for all different ages of our kids. We would get this box. It comes delivered to your house. It has all the instructions, but like they make the things. So like my toddler, she like glued all this stuff together and made a butterfly, but loves it. Couldn't get rid of it. My boys love it because they'll make like robots and different gadgets that are seriously in their toy box in their room. I'm like, why do you have this? Because they made it and it functions and it's so cool. Oh, that just battery.
Oh yeah.
But like we love that, but we love it for two reasons. We love the fact that it's like they're building something and making it themselves, but they're learning, and it has like a theme. So I don't know. I'm a fan.
No, I totally like. So this is a pencil sharpener that my son made.
Yeah.
Like a full on like pencil sharpener. Because like I said, he's 13, so he's using, the older. It's like so he makes a headphones.
Yeah.
He hasn't made this one yet, but
that like work.
Right. Yeah. So love the KiwiCo subscriptions. Like so my daughter's super into art. There's like an art one. There's stuff for toddlers, stuff for
like, isn't it like
13?
STEM related?
For
like
sure. Yeah.
It's all focused on, and like you just go and put what your kid is interested in, and they send one for them, and you will be blown away by the different kinds of projects that come in these subscriptions. Like, I couldn't recommend it more. And I have no affiliate, nothing with them.
Right.
We just got it, and I was like, yeah, huge fan.
Yeah. Like I pay $100 every few months for these boxes. So
but
yes,
I personally think it's so worth it.
Yeah, totally agree. I love KiwiCo. Let's keep going with toddlers for just a minute. And along this educational route, my favorite thing, and this is old school again, because a lot of this stuff didn't exist when I was raising toddlers, but everything by Leapfrog, I think is just amazing.
Yeah.
So like I had a little letters thing, where like it was a little magnet. And so, he puts the letter in the magnet and then like push on it and says like A, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a little story because I loved Leapfrog. My kids have always had a ton of technology in their lives. And my my son was going to preschool, and he was like, 3-ish. And the preschool teacher was like, "Hey, so some of the parents want to know what you've done." And I'm like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And she's like, "So Michael was in the corner with a book." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cute. He's pretending to read." And then I go over there and I'm like, "Oh, no, he's reading."
Yeah.
Like, and he was like super young. And I'm like, "Oh, honestly, unlimited technology." Like, that's all I did.
Yeah.
I'm like, so the Leapfrog stuff, I 100% credit to the fact that my son was reading at 3 years
Yeah.
old.
And is it annoying when they take it in the car and you hear the things over and over? For sure. But that exact reason
Absolutely.
right there.
Yeah.
Like, I'll hear my kids in the back and it's like, A, apple, A, apple. I'm like, push A, apple one more time. See what happens. I will turn this van around so fast. But it's like it helps them so much. But as parents, we're like, oh, why do I buy these things that make
Oh,
noises?
yeah.
Actually help. Who knew?
Exactly. And then for sure, if anybody has comments or questions, definitely leave that in the chat and we'll definitely respond to that since this is live. So yeah, Leapfrog, huge fan. They have the little like pen reader that my kids loved. Tons of stuff on Leapfrog's stuff, and I just recommend basically all of it. So the last thing I wanted to talk about for toddlers, and this is another CES find because CES is amazing. Coding critters. So these are cool little playing things. Like,
Nice.
I don't even. So they can code these little critters to like do things like, go left, go right, and things like that. So just really early introduction into coding.
Yeah.
That is super cute and I love it. But anyway,
I want one.
those I know, right? And I don't think they sell this anymore, but Fisher Price made this like coding caterpillar
Yeah.
that like I saw one year at CES and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that thing is amazing." Where you just like put the little caterpillar together, but like each piece of the caterpillar was like a left turn or a right turn or
Yeah.
straight or whatever, and then it just would go and it was amazing. So any of these like coding toys that are like specific for, that age group, I just love basically.
Mhm.
And then something I 100% bet you use this.
Oh,
100%. Boogie boards.
boogie boards. Are those the ones that like they draw on and then they push the button and it clears?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We have like 43 of them in our church
Yeah.
bag. Like, yeah, we use them. I'm like, why are you buying more? Oh, another color? Great. It's basically like how we are with Stanley mugs. Like, we have to get them all.
Exactly. Well, that's how I am with hydro flasks.
Yeah. This is sponsored by both. Thank you.
Right. Stanley and hydro flask.
Yes.
Yes. So Boogie Board, they were actually at CES this last year showing off like basically post-it notes that were the same kind of thing. You just write on it and then you can clear it just by like tapping a button. And like I was blown away, like little like post-it notes. It was kind of cool. But yeah, boogie boards I think are an amazing toy for your kids. And that's why I'm like 100% you've got them. I promise.
Yeah. My daughter, who's 7, she probably loves it the most because she loves drawing and art. And so she'll always say, okay, you draw something for me. And then we clear it. And then she draws something and it's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So my daughter is also super artistic. She's got, way more talent than I have in my like pinky finger.
Yeah.
And when she was a kid, like she'd be like, "Hey mom, draw me a dog." And I would like, this is how I make a dog. Like,
yeah.
that's
Right.
that's my dog.
Dog, cat, same thing.
Right. And she'd be like, yeah, no. Like even at 3, she's like, yeah, mom, you can do better. And I'm like, I really can't. Really, really can't.
Like, you know what? This is what I got. All right. We all have different
Yeah,
talents.
right. So let's head back over here. So those are some really great toddler things. Let's move on to elementary. So I know you've got some stuff for elementary kids.
Yeah. So I didn't know if this would count.
Okay.
But
I'm sure.
Legos?
Hey, it counts.
This is why. Because all my kids, if I get them Legos, as much as I hate them, because I am a clean freak. I was
And you love
cleaning
stepping on those
yesterday.
things.
There are Legos all over this house. But
Stepping on a Lego barefoot.
oh my gosh, the
100.
words that'll come out of my mouth. But it'll keep them entertained for hours. And it caters to 2 types of kids. My super creatives that they'll make the craziest things just out of their head.
Yeah.
But also my kids that are like me, and you just tell me what to do, and I'm going to do it exactly like that.
Right.
And so they follow exactly how to make something. And then both kids are super proud with their end result. I love it. I've spent way too much money on so many. Today was my son's birthday, and it was like, I'm like, we are not getting any more Legos. But then homeboy got like 4 boxes. I'm like, all right, your day is now full. Thanks.
It totally counts because I don't know that they still sell this, but I know I had one, the Lego Boost, and that's coding. So, you put the Lego robot together and then you can code it to talk and go places and everything like that. So 100% counts.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And then speaking of Lego, you'll love this. I know you will. Because I know you.
I already knew. And I've never been more jealous.
Well, and I mean, I'm not going to pick this one up because it's big, but if you can
Well,
see
of
that.
course. Holy cow.
The Disney Castle.
Yeah.
That's my pride and joy. But yeah, Legos totally count. Do you have anything else? This is elementary kids.
So like 8 and older?
Sure.
Or would you go older? You go.
Any of the
You
above.
go, and I'll think if I'm going to share this other one.
Okay.
Wait.
All right. I have a couple to begin with, and then we're going to get into stuff that I know you're super familiar with. But this cute little Sphero. So this is called a Sphero.
Yeah.
Again, like they have one that's like BB-8 and everything, but like it will like roll around. Like you can code it to like go like straight, right, etc. Like you can totally program this to like roll exactly where you want it to roll.
Yeah.
Or you can just control it with your phone and like, have it like an RC car or something. But Sphero, they have a ton of cool little coding gadgets. And I will put the Sphero in here because it's spelled a little weird.
They always are.
I know, right? So, and then I gotta show it. So yeah, so Sphero, this is the Sphero Bolt. But there's a ton of different ones that you can go for, and they're super awesome. I have a ton of like different coding recommendations, but one of our favorites, and if you don't have this already, I recommend you get it right away. Because it's super fun for kids. And I know you've got, so this is the Osmo. What it is, like you put the tablet here, and then you put this on top of the tablet, And then you've got all of these like different kits that you can buy. There's like a 10-gram one. Like, so this one is like a pizza maker. So you put the pizza here, and then you can put different like it'll tell you to put like different toppings on it, and so you put the toppings on. And then like it's got little like money, so like you can have like your own like pizza parlor.
It like turns the money into real money. It's weird.
Obviously. So like a little pizza parlor, and then like these like coding ones, so you can like put these down and have it like go forward 4, or like, you know, love the Osmo. There's even like this cool like mystery one where it's kind of like a clue game and you can play it.
There's like a math one.
Oh yeah, there's letters. Yeah, it is so much fun. The kids love it. It's been a favorite of mine for a long time. But yeah, so that is Osmo. Something that's fairly recent that I've already boxed back up, and I should just give this to you because I have no more use for it because I already did my YouTube video about it. But the Amazon Glow.
What is this thing?
And
this is why we're friends, because you share this stuff. I'm like, all right, I'll get it.
Yeah. So the Amazon Glow, I have a full YouTube video about the Amazon Glow, how to set it up, all the different kind of things you can do. But what's awesome about it is it's kind of like just a little device, and then it has a mat that comes with it. And you can do all sorts of things on this mat where you can, like, you know, it projects onto the mat, and then you interact with the mat. And so you can actually play, like, so there's this like 10-gram. Oh, I just threw all the 10 grams all over the place.
There they go.
There they go. So like there's like 10 grams and stuff, and so it's gonna have like a outline of a thing, and then you can put the 10 grams on. But what's really cool is you can interact with people in, like, you know, like you said, if grandparents are in another country for several years. You just download
in another state, like,
or in another state. Yeah.
I don't know why I had to just go to country, but yeah, if they're like,
and then for like 15 years, like,
yeah,
was very specific. I don't know. But the Amazon Glow, like, I can just download the app. Like, so say I'm the grandparent, I live far away from my grandkids. I can download the app, and then I interact with the kid who has the Glow.
It's like FaceTiming almost.
Yeah, it is like FaceTiming, but I can, like, we can read a story together, like where they're like tapping on the like page and turning the page. And I'm seeing the story as well. Or like I can give them hints in the tangram, like, oh, hey, maybe try this over here. And like I can like place where I would put that tangram and things like that. Or, you know, play connect the dots, or all sorts of really cool interactive things where, you know, the kid can either just play by themselves, or they can interact with an adult that has the app on their phone. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, so like I said, I bought it so I could do a review on it, but I have no use for it. And it's been like gathering dust. So I've been trying to find somebody to give it to. So honestly, if you want it, it is.
I may know a guy. You may know would freak.
Yeah, it is super cool. Oh, I was going to put this up here, Amazon Glow. So yeah, it's a very, very cool product, especially for the younger kids. Like I said, my kids are 13 and 16. They don't really.
Yeah, it says like 3 to 9.
Yeah. So love the Amazon Glow. And then one thing I just wanted to mention, because it's kind of going to segue into the rest of what we're going to talk about.
I love a good segue.
The segue is, well, Smart Speed, and you're going to love, like, so this is, you know, a Google Nest, right?
Oh yeah.
But here's my fun, like, a Google Nest, like, but what's cool, I love your face.
Like, why wouldn't I have that? Oh my gosh.
Right? But a lot of people these days don't have a home phone.
Yeah.
And like nobody has a home phone anymore. And so what a lot of people don't understand is that you can use a smart speaker as a home phone.
Yeah.
So your kids can be at home and they can be like, "Hey Google," and I'm not going to say the rest because my devices all turn on when I say that phrase.
Yeah.
But like then they can say, you know, it's actually good.
Hey, word she just said. Call.
Call mom, you know. I'm like, is anything calling my mother right now?
Yeah.
My mom answers the phone. What's
Like,
going
well,
on?
what's happening?
Yeah.
Just don't say the swear words anymore.
Right. So that's a really great option. If you've got young kids at home, you don't have a home phone, getting a smart speaker for them and just teaching them how to make phone calls with that
Yeah.
is super important. But what kind of communication devices? See, there's the segue.
Yeah.
Right? It was a good segue. Do you have for us?
So
So
I'll grab the box. This one, I don't know if you've heard of Chromie.
a little bit.
So here's the phone. Of course, this one's not charged, but phone, kids say phone option. I love it for a few reasons. One, exactly what you said, we didn't have a home phone in our house. So we had heard stories of people with kids and stuff would happen. Let's say I have a babysitter here. What if babysitter's phone isn't charged? What if the babysitter is doing something inappropriate and the kid is like, I don't feel comfortable and wants to call mom and dad or text them and say like, hey, can you get home? Do we think that the babysitter is going to be like, oh yeah, here's my phone?
Here's my phone. Go ahead and call and say that I'm being inappropriate.
Right. Like, right?
Yeah.
So we were looking at a phone option. There were others, and it just didn't fit what we needed. There were things that just seemed off to us. And it just so happened that Trumi came out right at the time that we were looking. So you can add apps that have already been approved onto these phones. So we have Disney Plus, we have Spotify Kids on here, we have some games on there, but also I can set time restrictions. So for like the games, it was a game changer, literally, pun intended. Last year,
Puns.
last year, I would just make the games accessible from 4 to 5 p.m. So my son gets home from school at 3:30. And I say, okay, is all your homework done? You got to finish everything you need to do. And then if you do, from 4 to 5, the games are going to be on the phone. And if you want to play them, then great. But come 5 o'clock, it's off. It's not accessible anymore. And if he has to take longer to get his work done, I don't care. You just have from 4 to 5 to use it. That's it. Because that's what we said. I love it because it's taught us to introduce phones to our kids. Like clearly they would use our iPhones, but then as they were getting older, I'm like, I don't want you getting in all the things. I don't want the ads if you click them to take you off to somewhere. Right. So TrueMe eliminates all that for us.
Yeah. Well, and it has a web browser that you can turn on. You don't have to.
Yeah.
But it has safe list only websites. So if they do come across
websites that I want them to have access to.
Right. So if they do find a little back way to the internet through like an app or an ad or, whatever, they're not going to be able to pull that up because it's going to block it from that same browser. So,
or let's say someone sends your kid a TikTok video and you don't want your kid getting on TikTok. Like they text them a link to a TikTok. If they click that, it just says, oops, you don't have access to this. It's like, thanks. So
thanks, TrueMe.
Yeah, it really is a safe option. Clearly, there's back like back access to all kinds of things.
Sure.
Trumi doesn't.
Nothing's going to be perfect for sure.
Right. Trumi doesn't control all of that, but we are providing you with the tools to teach your children how to use these things. There's educational apps on there. There's Canva. There's whatever, Google Classroom. Like there's all these things on there. But we definitely have warnings in there on what they could do, what potentials there are in that. But as long as you're having the conversation with your kids and you're saying like, okay, look, I'm going to put Canva on your phone. I know Canva. We all know that I'm an influencer, so I use Canva.
I know.
So you use Canvas, but there's the potential that there's a web browser. If a teacher sends a YouTube link, kids go into YouTube and then they have access. Like we don't control YouTube. We don't control Canvas.
Right.
So there are those things, but that's for you as a parent to now have the conversations with your child saying, hey, I know that there's the potential for this, or you could not tell them and feel like they're going to be oblivious and not learn. But like, I love the fact that this gives me the opportunity to have the conversations with my kids.
Yeah. And I'm a huge, I mean, you know me, huge proponent of having those conversations. Like conversations are my fifth layer of parental controls. So anything that you discover. So what I like about TrueMe as well is that you can read messages. So you can see, or message monitoring. And so you can see the messages going back and forth. And so when you see something concerning, that's when you sit down with your kid. Hey, I noticed you said this thing to your friend. Wasn't a very nice thing to say. You know, here's why maybe you should apologize to your friend. But it can just start that conversation. It's not going to prevent them from doing that, but it will help you have a conversation with them and help them learn how to use technology properly.
Right. One example that I always use, I am an exception probably, as with most things. When it comes to cell phones, it was the 90s. I happen to have a cell phone in high school. Blows people's minds, but whatever. But when we had cell phones there, all they did was call. That was all you could do. Yeah. So can the TrueMe phone be a device that your kid could just call? Yes. It could be a device that you just let them call and text, mom, dad, grandma, the name. Like you can set all that. But then you can introduce them to these different things just like you were introduced. Like I just had calling. Then texting came about and you had to pay like $2 to send a text, but you paid 99 cents to like.
And you had to hit the 5 3 times for like each letter. Like
yeah. Yeah,
do you remember
T9, oh my gosh, I was so good. I could text behind my back, and I knew that I said exactly what it did because of T9. If you know,
that's impressive. That's impressive. I don't think I ever got that good.
And then we got games. So like Snake, we all got Snake.
Oh, I remember on the little Nokia brick. Remember Snake on the Nokia brick?
Yeah. And then like the internet came about. And so then we had internet that you could search on your phone and different apps. So that's the thing that's with TrueMe. It's just taking it back to how it was, how you learned how to handle a device, but step by step by step.
Yeah. I'm so old that I had a pager in high school.
Oh, you are my sister. She had a pager. I'm like, user, I can call people.
Yeah. Well,
actually, and I don't have to 911 them or all the weird like messages via numbers.
Oh, I still have my notebook. I don't have it here with me of like all of my pager codes that I used with my friends, like for my reference guide to my pager codes.
It's a real thing.
It is. And when I was in high school, pagers were so like not common yet. That like I had to get special permission from the administration to have the pager because like I lived super far away from my high school, long story, but so that's why they gave me special permission. But like at that time it was like, oh, you have a pager? Are you a drug dealer? Like
I am. What do you need?
I know.
Don't worry about
I've got all sorts of stuff. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yes, that's awesome. I love the TrueMe phone, exactly for what you were saying. Um, if you wanna go a step below, let's talk quickly about a couple watches.
Yeah.
Do you do any watches with your kids or
We
anything?
don't because my kids don't like to wear watches. I've tried,
Yeah.
but they just don't get into them. They're also still smaller, and I feel like for the most part, the watches that I've seen are just
So big.
big.
Yeah.
But I love them. I totally
Yeah.
get it. It's way easier to strap that on and keep it on your kid than
Right.
them carrying this around.
Right. We used the Verizon Gizmo.
Yeah.
Um, I loved it for sure, for especially that young elementary age. You know, like right before you want to get them a phone. We're Verizon customers, so it was super easy.
Mhm.
But you know, I know people who are not Verizon customers. You can get a plan just for the phone.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little more expensive than if you just add it to the plan that you already have. But um, I really loved the Gizmo for Verizon. Um, the other watch that I've seen at CES, again, I haven't been able to use this personally, but is this, oh, I'm going to take this TrueMe banner down. Is this Explora? Um, and again, this is going to be like, I think you can add it to your own plan.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll just go ahead and accept those cookies. I love when Google tracks me everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so you can get this at Best Buy, Target, Amazon. But again, you can just add it to your own phone plan. And it's got some really cool features where you can like earn coins by being active, and there's like some games they can play to be active. Um, so I thought this one was a really cool option as well if you don't have Verizon. Um, to check that one out.
Yeah.
Um, Oh, yeah, and I had pulled up a few other things. So this is the kettle that we were talking about earlier. Um,
Oh, yeah.
and then I haven't talked about this other thing yet. But anyway, so those are the two kind of watch options. I did also find I must have closed this. But a lot of people want to just GPS track their kids
Mhm.
instead of maybe that's not their website. Um And a lot of people will try and do like the air tags, the Apple air tags. And I don't like that for a couple reasons. Is the main reason is it's not GPS. It is, well, I mean, it has GPS capabilities, but not away from another iPhone. So you have to have an iPhone nearby to ping against in
Yes.
order for it to work. And so if your kid is not near another iPhone, like you're not going to be able to track them.
Mhm.
Um, and so you want to get something that's just specifically um, a GPS tracker. And this is the one that I just kind of found. I've tested out a couple of these like cool pad products. I'm not sure but here's the tracker. They also have this watch, this Dino series. I couldn't find where to buy it, but I've seen this one in person as well. And I like it because of the size.
Yeah.
It's another like, you know, smartwatch for kids, but it's a lot smaller and a lot more kind of fun. It has that circle thing. But this tracker, this is LTE tracker. So it's going to be based on the cellular network. You stick that in their backpack or their pocket or whatever. And then that uh, will help track them like better than something like an AirTag.
I'm a fan.
Any what?
I'm a
You're a
fan.
fan. Awesome. So I think that's all I keep seeing my mouse on this screen and thinking it's the mouse that's on my screen in front
I
of
know,
me.
that's what I keep thinking too. I'm like, "Who's moving my mouse? This is weird." You're
I'm looking around me just to make sure I grabbed all of the products that I wanted to talk about. Anything that you're missing that you wanted to talk about?
I think if anything, if you are interested in TrueMe, I do know that if you use the code Modern Dad, you get $50 off the phone. Don't use Family Tech. Use Modern Dad. $50 off. I think it's a great deal. So
it is a great deal. So if you go to TrueMe.com and go and use the Modern Dad code, I will put that code in the description of this video. So if you can't figure out how to spell Modern Dad, I don't know. It can happen.
And if you ever have any questions, I answer all the questions on Trume's Instagram. It's just Trume Wireless. And I'm always happy to help with any questions anyone ever has.
Yeah. And you can also reach out to him on at the Modern Dad with those underscores on Instagram too. He has a lot of followers on Instagram.
So get crazy.
That's I mean, and if you're not following him on Instagram, you need to follow him on Instagram because A, he's hilarious and you will crack up every single day. And B, you might find some really cool stuff because he likes to shop. So.
Yeah. Who knew?
Right.
And maybe you'll find places to eat, but only in Utah.
Somewhere. Yeah. See, well, I mean, when you're traveling to New York, you can have some recommendations.
Oh, I have some.
See, and then he can write off his trip to New York. It's all working out.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Jason.
Oh gosh, Sarah, anytime.
Love this conversation. Yes. Maybe we'll have to have another conversation about other stuff too, because it's just so much fun to talk to you.
We could talk about anything.
We really could. So, I mean, one night we were going back and forth on Marco Polo about the real world.
Yeah.
So.
Right. We could talk about anything.
Literally anything. So if you have any suggestions for something for us to talk about,
leave them below.
Go ahead and hit that in the comments. Don't forget to follow him over at the Modern Dad on Instagram. Follow Family Tech if you're not already following. Sure. And make sure you're subscribed on my YouTube channel. I do a live every single Friday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. So check me out. Next week is actually going to be super, super cool. I'll announce it right now. I am interviewing the creator of Fight the New Drug. Wow. So that's going to be a really, really important live to check out. Yeah. So definitely check me out next week and we will see you next time.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye.